Alright, so on today's episode of Straight Up, we have our guest Dominick Ngantou. Dominick is an artist and entrepreneur here from Chicago with hits like Mista Policeman and Come Here Funk. He is also the founder and leading member of Elite Society. Dom, what's happening? Welcome to the show.
Let's clap for him. Let's clap for him, Neil. Let's clap for him.
I'm not clapping for this dude. Thanks for coming on, Dom. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. VNR Production, the crew.
The crew. Doing our thing. What's up, man?
I'm chilling, man. You know, a lot of things been going on.
So my question is Mista Policeman. It's blowing up. It's on SoundCloud. It's on YouTube. It's on Facebook. You're getting a lot of views, man.
Thanks for the pub. So you can actually go back and listen to Mista Policeman on our SoundCloud, Elitist Music. You can catch us on YouTube, Elite Society Music. What else? Facebook, Elite Society Music, and you can catch our videos.
Can we get the T-shirt on Elite on the website? Or is that
merchandise? Yeah.
No, yeah, we should be able to get T-shirts on the We Are Elite Society website, weareelitesociety.com. You can check out the T-shirts and every other merchandise. We should be able to stream music as well and everything else.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but like the music is good, man. Elite Society, Mista Policeman had a great response from all blogs all over the states, from New York to here, and Indiana. We're in Cali, so it's good, man. It's a good response.
Let me ask you something.
You just did.
No, I don't. That was
a statement. That was a statement.
I didn't ask you something. I didn't say, can I ask you something? I said, let me ask you something. I'm telling you I'm about to ask you something.
All right.
What's the concept behind Mista Policeman?
What's the concept? So Mista Policeman just explains what goes on right now. I mean, he talks about realities of a certain community in the United States of America. Simple as that. So it touches on the police interaction with the Afro-American and Hispanic community, in a sense.
Okay.
The outside oppression in those communities.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you gotten any feedback on that topic at all? I mean, people resonating with it, people giving comments, people saying that that's not the case. I mean, what does it look like right now for what you're hearing?
Well, so saying that's not the case is refuting a fact. That's one. But two, the music also touches on the oppression that goes on in the community by community members. So, like, most like to call it black on black oppression, right? So, it's all around. And the thing is, we dropped a video involving the what's his name?
Laquan McDonald.
Laquan McDonald case.
Check out the Mista Policeman music video.
Yeah, so everybody got their opinion, but you can't refute facts. It happens. But now the question may be, what do we think about what's going on? Right?
And is there a solution to that?
Yes. I mean
whether it's through your music or whether it's through social activism, it's like
there is a solution, right? But let's identify the problem first. Now, what goes on in the Afro-Americano and Hispanic community? It's a result of a lot of things. There's a lot of factors we can involve in that. But I would say one thing. A lot of people, as much as we may think that we're just being oppressed, we have to take in we have to take in consideration that we are not totally blameless for what's going on. Right?
I see.
We are not blameless for what goes on in our community.
So where do you find yourself in the midst of that conversation?
I'm not a social activist. Yeah, it's not what I'm not.
Unlike the boy, Illinois.
Yeah, I'm not for a riot.
Protesting.
I'm not a protester. That's been going on for the past 400 years. It hasn't worked.
Yeah.
The Million Man March just happened. That was a big fashion show to me. That was a big networking event. The next day, someone got shot, got killed.
Yeah.
That's no
By
solution.
the police or was it like in the community?
Every day in the community, someone dies.
Okay. Just one. Okay,
You know,
so.
It,
Okay.
I'll say about if max 10% of what happens in the black community or Hispanic community, is part of the injustice, but 90% is justified by crimes, by murders, by stealing, and everything else that goes on. Gangbangers, drug dealers.
Yeah.
That's illegal. That's illegal to do. So if you get caught,
but one of the things that like I feel like I've had conversations with people about who've been in those sort of predicaments is like part of it is that sort of the norm, the societal norms. Like, so yeah, I mean, what you're doing may be not legal or not benefiting, you know, the improvement of society, but that is simply the way that you have seen the world operate around you. And so that is like it becomes normalized. So that sort of behavior becomes normalized, and so the moral implications of that it's a bad thing to do, or that it's not the right thing to do, or it's not beneficial to society, end up decreasing, and it's justified simply because it is a reality of life. How do you break that sort of cycle of justification?
That's when we come in. That's the solution. Breaking that cycle.
Yeah.
The greatest revolution that could ever happen is if those communities start living righteously. Start living according to the laws.
But, you know, that goes back to the idea of, like, we are, as human beings, we're inclined to continue behaving the way that we behaved in the past.
Why?
Not changing behavior, because it's normalized.
Because it's been taught that way. It's a cycle of teaching.
It's comfortable. It's natural.
Look, those communities, right? This is how they grew up. Let me tell you. In the black community, you have fathers are mostly in jail.
Yeah.
Or they're gangbangers. Or they're super young and they're gangbangers. Fathers are 17 years old. You a 17-year-old kid. You raised by your mother. You below the poverty line. And you have a child. All you know is the streets. And you have to sell drugs. Now, it is hard. And it is hard to endure such conditions, living righteously, feeling like you can't do other things. But we must change now. Like, it's time for us to reconstruct. Like, you can say that's all I know is the streets, but you know exactly where you're going to end up, either jail or dead.
Yeah. So how do you break that cycle?
Abiding by the laws. I think that's
Let me tell you how
simple as
Let me tell you how you break
I think
the
that's
cycle.
what how he's rationalizing it.
That's the solution, right?
Yeah, that's the solution. It's
Reteaching,
just getting to that solution.
reteaching the people.
Yeah.
Because it's all about destroying the current mindset that the people have, right? Total cataclysm. You have to destroy that mindset, right? And then you have to rebuild it by reteaching them how to live.
Yeah.
When you listen to Mr. Policeman, I don't talk about, you know, I don't. In my music, I don't glorify selling drugs. I don't glorify crimes. I talk about what happens, and then if you listen to the third verse of Mr. Policeman, we give you a solution. Therefore, practice equanimity, show passion and empathy. Like, look past your felonies, all a remedy. This is one solution. Like, love each other. Don't hate each other. Like, people in those communities, they hate each other. I'm gonna tell you, if I wake up today and I shoot you, it's because I hate you. It's not because I love you. Yeah, you have to learn how to show compassion now. You have to teach yourself how to love your brother, how to love yourself in the first place. Because if you love yourself, you're gonna love your neighbor, right? Steps to reconstruction. First, identification, then cultivation, would end with elevation by the Most High. You have to understand, those people need to know and learn who they are. Self-identification. Who are we? What is our ancestry, origin? Because the past shapes the future. If you don't know what your past is, your origin, then you never know who you are, and you forever be lost. And then once you gain your origin back, what do? You cultivate yourself to the essence of your culture.
So how primed do you think people are to take on this message?
It's about time. Which is the name of the EP, by the way, dropping next year. You know, the EP is called "It's About Time."
Okay.
This is perfectly. If you look at the video, the big message of the video was actually the biblical verse that was there.
Yeah, I remember
that. You see, like when I do things, I give you what the video reflects.
Mhm.
And the biblical verse is Hosea 5:15, I think, right? It says, what does it say? It says, I will go to my place until they examine their ways and repent. And in their affliction, they will seek me early. What you see right now is not going to stop. It's going to go on until we feel like we had enough.
Okay, Dom, so can I
The
clarify
bodies will
something?
be adding next year and next year and next year and coming up until
Yeah.
we feel like, oh, damn, we can't do it no more.
I mean, it just
That's what I
Okay,
think.
so let me just clarify, because for me, it's all about Mr. Policeman.
Yeah.
We can get into a social activist debate, whatever.
But I think it's intertwined.
But yeah, but that's where it goes.
No, but okay, so this track, Mr. Policeman, right?
Yeah.
It talks about the police injustices in the
Mhm.
Black and Hispanic minority communities, all
Mhm.
right? But then these police injustices are happening because we don't love ourselves or each other
We put ourselves in
these
positions.
predicaments to receive these police injustices, right?
Yeah.
And then you talk about how we can reform ourselves to possibly make things better.
Yes.
That's the whole premise of Mr. Policeman.
Yes. It's not going to change prejudiced minds, right?
Yeah.
But if you're not doing anything wrong and you have nothing to hide, then come search my car.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I may be a black guy riding the car. If I'm clean, if I ain't riding dirty, like Chameleon, right? And the police
Shout out to
still-
Chameleon. That was a great track, by the way. It made high school so much easier for us.
You
Please
know,
continue, Dom.
and if the police is still prejudiced against me and stops me just because I'm black, for whatever reason, right? And I'm clean, I have nothing to hide,
Yeah.
then what?
Instead of working up a storm and trying
I'm
to make a point,
blameless
just
now.
let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he kills me, he killed a blameless person. I had nothing. You see what I'm saying? But oftentimes we put ourselves in those situations.
But, Dominic, a lot of these police injustices that have been happening are to gentlemen and guys who are blameless. I mean,
Well, not necessarily.
well, yes, Freddie Gray was blameless.
But I mean,
Freddie Gray was. Laquan McDonald was not breaking any laws.
But you looking
It
at
isn't against the law to hold
listen.
a pocket knife.
But this is the thing. I'm not disagreeing with you. But you are looking at one out of a bunch that died. See the problem? We always single out one, but we never talk about the others. There's many people that died. I didn't say they deserve to die because I don't kill. No one has the power to kill, right? But one. But at the end of the day, if it was their time, it was their time. But like Freddie Gray is one person out of a million. Like I said, the injustice that's done to our communities is less than 10%.
So,
How about the 90%?
so basically, what he's saying, ladies and gentlemen, is that in order for the police to respect us, we must respect ourselves.
Perfect.
We need to mitigate, alleviate, suppress,
All those big
whatever.
words.
Yeah, all those big words that Rick Storsell taught me. All right, our communities and help each other so the police don't do us wrong.
That's it. Let me take a simple example for the kids, for everybody that's watching, right? If you have a dirty house, right, and I come to your house, do you think I'm going to throw the trash in the garbage where it's supposed to be? I'm most likely to throw the trash wherever, right? Because your house looks like a garbage house, right? But if I'll come to your house and I see you organized, and you want things done a certain way in your house, then I'll have
You're
to-
more inclined to respect.
I'm more inclined to
that.
respect
Yeah.
that. You see
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, our community is in disarray. What makes you think anybody's going to respect us? See, as much as I love my people, listen, we are rebellious people. We are in a community full of traps. We know that, right? We know that. You go on every corner on the south side, west side of Chicago, all you're going to see drug dealers and gangbangers. We know that for sure. Everywhere there's a trap. The lack of wisdom, though. When you have wisdom, you know how to dodge the trap. Instead of saying, I want the easy way out, like all of my brothers, I'm not going to go sell drugs. I'm going to get my job at McDonald's. We like the easy way out, and the easy way out usually leads to
But there's
death.
not jobs available in our communities. You guys have to know that.
Listen, Neil.
Keep it
I would like to tell you something, right? We always like to say there's no opportunities, right? Make an opportunity.
Dom, not everyone's
not
everyone's business savvy as you.
A drug dealer is a businessman. We just
drug dealers.
the opportunity that you make for yourself is an opportunity that will lead you to jail or death. A drug dealer is a big businessman. This is self-employment. I sell drugs. You go get a consignment, a pack, you sell it on a corner, and you pay back your man.
But in the same way,
That's
that there's a risk and reward for entrepreneurship, I feel as though that's the attitude that they take. Is
the risk and the reward, right?
Yeah.
All right. Now let's wage the risk. It's just the lack of knowledge, man. The lack of we have the lack of knowledge, you know. And the thing is, like, this is one thing I was chopping it up with my friends, and I said, listen, I don't even look at the police anymore because I know the police is behind my back. The police is an enemy forever. I don't worry about the police. I'm more so mindful of those so-called leaders of the community, because those communities that have been oppressed have no leadership. I'm not about a historical moment. I'm not that type of guy. I don't care about making history. This is what our people love all the time. Oh, we got a black president. We made history. Oh, the Million Man March. We made history. I'm about making change. Change is slow.
And incremental.
But yeah, incremental. But you have to be radical. You can't be a fence sitter when you make change. It's either do this or don't do that. Like, it's either do's or don't. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, most of our people, we fence sitters. Many of blacks get killed in our community by black people. We don't say nothing. But when the police does something, what do?
Say something.
Let's walk. Why don't we walk every day?
Because we only walk because it's justified. That's why we walk. So it isn't because the police.
But justification is from perspective. It's based on your perspective.
If somebody gets bailed out of jail for shooting the shit out of a black man, that's justification.
Listen. I agree with you, Neil. I agree with you.
That's why we don't.
But I agree and I disagree. As much as we stand up for our people and our children when they get killed by the police, we should also stand up for those who get killed by their brothers.
I think the standing up only happens because it's justified. When Officer Bob shoots Laquan and people say, well, if he wasn't driving 15 miles over the speed limit, he wouldn't have got shot. Yeah, that's a problem.
If it's black on black crime, no one cares.
No one cares. No one cares because people can't make money off of it.
There's no attention. No one gives a shit.
So
but when it's the police, you know who's going to get money? Jesse Jackson is going to get a little money. He's going to come through.
The homie
Black Lives Matter.
The homie Al Sharpton.
He's going to get his perm money. You know.
Everybody watching the news on WGN, NBC, CBS, Fox.
You know, everybody getting a little check. Everybody getting a little 30 seconds of fame. But when he's listen, I'm angry, bro. I'm an angry guy. I'm just very calm. But I'm angry inside because oppression makes me angry. And again, if you're my enemy and you kill one of mine, I expect that from the enemy. But if you're my so-called brother and you kill one of ours, I didn't expect that from you. It's like you turning against me. Or it's like your friend, or it's like Rick snitching on you or doing something against you and you didn't expect that. Would you be more mad at the enemy that you expected it from or your friend?
Rix isn't a snitch, you guys. We need all the street cred we can get. Rix is not a snitch.
No, this is an example.
I mean, like...
You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not mad. You see, listen, when the police does things, they've been doing this for the past 200 years. Set the dogs, that's what they're paid to do.
But who taught us, Dom, how to do that?
How to do what?
How to hate each other. That's the thing. A wise man once told me that there's a house Negro and there's an infield Negro, and Massa teaches them to hate each other.
We know that, right?
So it's also...
So we know that, right?
We know that.
No, look, so we know who taught us, right? But does that matter anymore?
We know that.
Now we need
the black community doesn't know that.
Listen, we know that rioting is not a solution. We know that.
Well, I think the issue comes down to the list of priorities that people face in these particular communities. It's like, while we're having these sort of philosophical, large conversations, what are their main concerns? One is probably survival. You know, day-to-day food, making sure that you have food for your, income for your family, whatever the case may be. That's your number one priority. Second is survival of your environment. It's like your environment's for the most part, you can say is not safe in one form or another.
Yeah.
And so you have, supporting your family, supporting yourself, surviving in the environment, and then comes this sort of philosophical debate.
Let me ask you a question. What makes those community unsafe? Right? Let me tell you. If there was no policing in our communities, where would be the black man right today? Let me ask you, if there was no officers coming through our communities, if there was no policing, with the way we are right now, without mental state of mind right now, what would be the black man right now? Who would be all dead? Who would be all dead? Because all we do is kill each other. We rob and we kill. The small policing that we do have actually helps us just a little bit. Because the biggest oppressors are our people.
Boo.
Dom, what do you think? Dom, what do you think it is?
I
Because if you,
I love this guy, but I don't agree with
It's the
him.
truth. It's the truth.
Boo.
Just imagine. We talked about it last. Just imagine if there was no more killings in our communities
And I think
by our people. Even if the police still killed us, it would be less than 10%.
You know what?
The number will go drastically down.
Absolutely.
If there's 500 bodies in Chicago, the police only got 10 bodies or 20 bodies. But we got 490 bodies.
Yeah.
What's up with that? But the thing is, all we do, the partying we do has no solution. The stress goes away for a couple hours, and then when you get, it's when you get high for a couple hours, and then you come down, the same problem still waits for you.
So that's interesting, though, because it sounds like a lot of your work centers around this sort of self-realization of understanding the power that we have as individuals and as our own community.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's important.
Where does that come from?
I've been like that since the beginning of time.
That's not true. I actually showed him how to do that. I taught him to empower himself through his music,
Because
I'm so happy to see him doing great things, man.
No, but I
This is a
I
blessing.
think I get what the overall what the slight difference is, with what you were saying, Rick's and you too, Dom, you got your high and then but then the problem is still there. But there's a difference between doing your thing to try and escape your problem or escape reality, and there's a difference between knowing there's a problem and living it up, doing your thing, and not letting it get to you, and then when you're done doing your thing, later address that problem.
Yeah.
You can't let it control your life. You gotta have time for yourself so you have energy to attack it or whatever it is.
And I'm gonna tell you something, Rick. A lot of people make music. I'm gonna use what you said. A lot of people they make music to escape. I don't escape the problems of music. Like a musician will tell you, man, my studio is my escape. But my studio is where I draw. I have my drawing boards.
You address the
and
problems.
I address the problems in the studio instead of escaping a problem. And the studio is not my high. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy what I do because that's my talent. But I use that to address the problem. I don't run away from the problems. Once you decide to take this road, right, onto redemption and righteousness, right, you have to kind of reroute everything that you've been doing. So a lot of my catalog was rewritten. Because a lot of my friends even ask me, so why the drastic change? And my response is, do you have to wait until something happens to you for you start walking in the righteous path?
I think that's a phenomenal note to end on.
That's a powerful.
That is very powerful. What are your final thoughts on just everything? The conversation, your music, just any last words that you have to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, I like to thank Str8 Up for being straight up. The music is straight up. The music is powerful. The music is substantial.
Real recognizes real.
Real recognizes real. We're gonna keep doing what we do. We're not looking for fame, but we're looking to conquer. And what we're looking to conquer is we're looking to conquer the minds of those who are willing to listen.
Perfect.
Shout out to VNR Productions, Str8 Up, Elite Society, we in the building, we'll forever be. And all praises to the Most High. What else?
Right on.
Amen, man.
That's good. Thank you, Dom. Thank you for coming on the show. Can't wait to have you back. And that is all for this episode for Str8 Up. Keep it real.
Yeah.